to the lower bracket finals here of the LPL winner split. One of these teams, JDG or Weibo Gaming, is going to First Stand 2026.
Something funny about the First Stand thing we were talking about a little bit is that Viper, oh my god, I forgot Viper's name. I was thinking Ruler for some reason. It just completely slipped my mind. Viper is the sole remaining defending First Stand champion, and he is going to First Stand. So he's the only person from the entire tournament that even made it back. He's the defending champion until, you know, we get potentially Hongkyu and Junja coming in as well. But I think that's pretty funny. I think, yeah, do BLG count themselves as like half champions, half defending champions? I'm not exactly sure how that works, because the real champions, they were out 10th.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I want to go back to your point though, obviously, because I think narratively wise, it's so cool to see that Junja and Hongkyu have been a driving force for this JDG team in their first split here, back in the LPL, obviously for Junja, but for the first time for Hongkyu. And it's still been their style a lot of the time, and it's been really, really fun to watch. It's been a breath of fresh air, it feels like, in the league, and in their first split, they're already potentially making it to finals. Obviously, we've got a lot of game to play, and we'll see if that actually comes so, but as we take a look at the map state, it is going to be the opposite side jungling path for both junglers, and a lot of priority game by JDG bot.
Didn't exactly see what happened down here level 1. We were kind of looking over the map, but Arha had to base very early against this Ezreal Karma. Elk's doing his best to farm, but look at the CS gap. It is, there is minions to catch here for Elk, but that's not going to get evened out on this wave. I'm really surprised by the fan prediction there, or the official broadcast prediction, I should say. 76% Weibo, I think it was the number. That's insane. I was not expecting it to be this Weibo favored. But remember, Weibo did beat JDG twice in the regular season in the double round robin, and have looked pretty hot so far. Junja down here in the bot side, getting his Scuttle Crab, and looks like JJ will be up the top, clearing his Scuttle Crab. The level 6 Scuttle Crab missile is something that we've spoken about quite a lot. I'm really interested to see how these two junglers that we've spoken about, having history together, want to play around the Scuttle Crab this series.
Oh, gonna get low here. Didn't end up burning the heal. We have Junja right there just in case to be able to put him down. He does make it out alive, so there won't be a kill there. He will have burned the heal. Still has the flash, and the flash got burned by Gala there. So a couple summoner spells for the one inside of JDG, but a lot of prio still being fought for here in the bot lane. As Vampire goes in, Elk's going to flash. Junja stayed around, waited, goes for the 3-talon strike, and the Mystic shot takes him low. Elk down, first blood, JDG.
Kind of perfect. Vampire flashes with the W tether, forces Elk to flash, and then Junja's waiting behind. JJ is here. Junja has no flash, but I don't think that Weibo can do any kind of dive, so it's just going to be a really nice first blood over to Gala in that play. I mean, Junja stayed there for so long waiting for an opportunity, and finally Weibo give him one.
Looks like JJ wants to force some of this turret plate gold if he can. Get this wave in, make sure it does end up crashing. Doesn't end up sticking around. It's going to be Elk that finally makes it back to lane. A little bit of chaos in the bot lane early. Isn't going to lean out too much. Both junglers are going to head back into the map. We will have objectives here coming up shortly. But I want to ask you, Jay Beto, what buff is better? Going all 5 games in every series you played in the upper bracket for JDG, or the lower bracket run? Because I feel like both have mysticism around them.
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to try to not be biased. I do think...
You a lower bracket run fan?
No, I'm a JDG fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. My reasoning behind picking the upper bracket is that they played more games. Now, I don't know if this is a team, some teams, they play more games, it looks worse. They need that time off. Time off makes them come alive, but I think it's never a bad idea to have more game time in a playoffs when you can really get a grasp on meta, drafting. Pardon me, it means that if JDG do go to a best of 5 like they've been doing, they are very comfortable in that 5th game.
Elk is just getting oppressed down here. Just really doesn't have the range to keep up with all the poke that's coming his way. The prio there with the waves crashing consistently. About a 20 CS differential right now. And Elk's going to try to clean up a few of these scraps here before the turret does. Does try to get himself a little bit more even. But bot lane is bleeding here. And Weibo going to need to figure out a way to get Elk online.
Well, there's the level 6 Scuttle. JDG will level up. But Junja's around the dragons. This is why I was surprised about the Kai'Sa pickup. I think this lane is impossible to play. I think JDG did a really good job of, if this is how they want to play the game, and I think this is what I'm going to... Oh, hang on, maybe I'll wait. Weibo, don't want to give this dragon up for free.
Junja is not. The smite will go his way. There's going to be the heroic entrance used for mid lane. The cease and desist comes down with the Void Seeker on top of it. Elk helps a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be nearly enough. The Crescent Guard buys so much space, and JDG find 2 more kills, maybe even a 3rd. And they fall for the bait. They go for the clone. I don't know if they'll be able to catch him at this point, but it will be a clean fight from JDG and the objective secured.
I mean, Vampire can just chase him to death, but the thing is that Arha will most likely, even if he does get caught, just be able to execute. Unless Vampire bomb planned in right now. No, Arha's already in base.
No
there we go.
Way.
So I wanna talk about this. I don't know if this is the right time, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We've got some downtime here. I mean, you know, the grubs are up in 50 seconds. Haven't been super prioritized by our teams here. In the last 2 series, so BLG and JDG and Weibo versus AL, there was 9 games. And the team that got Soul Point, not Soul, Soul Point won the game. We got a Realm Warp down bottom.
Oh, Gala's in some trouble. Waiting for him to use his Arcane Shift. And Elk is the one that claims the kill out of all 3 of the people just battering down Gala.
And that's how you use this side lane comp, side lane access. Very strong from Ryans. We're talking about that in draft a little bit. And this time the kill goes over to Elk. The first on earlier onto Gala was on Xiaohu, but now Gala has fallen twice. You won't be very happy about that, but JDG still maintain a gold lead. But yeah, what I was saying is that in those 9 games, the team that ended up getting Soul Point won the game. And you might say, well, Gibetto, that's because they were up gold. No, that's not what happened. Sometimes they're up gold, sometimes it was even, sometimes JDG specifically was down many thousands of gold, and them getting soul was enough to bring them back into the game. It's just the strength of Soul Point, the threat of the soul. Both of these junglers did a really good job in their respective series of smite stealing against the opponent jungler. So I'm really excited to see. I mean, are we going to get some flips? JDG have the first dragon already. We've got the 2 strongest damaging souls off the table already, but we could high roll into a Cloud Soul. I think for Kai'Sa, Nico, for Vi, for Xin Zhao, those are really, really strong. Sorry, that's soul that's really, really strong on those champions.
And while you were talking, we saw Junja very aggressively take 2 camps right out from under the nose of JDG there, so he'll continue the small advantage that he's had and potentially go on to the other side to try and stop the favor return from JDG, as he will be surrounded here. Gonna have to use the Vault Breaker to get over the wall. Gonna go straight to the turret. True Shot Barrage. It might clip him. Oh! He steps out of the way. He will be executed. Just a quick reset for the jungler of Weibo.
Yeah, nice execute. Does feel a bit bad though, and a bit lucky for Weibo that that True Shot Barrage didn't hit. It means that JDG have tempo now to push in all their lanes, potentially go over to these grubs. But like I said before, the grubs have been really undervalued this year, Mazel. I think teams aren't really committing to this split push style. I think when the year started, there's a lot of people saying, well, the extra gold that you can get from the turret plates, the extra XP that top laners get inherently from their role quests, like surely we're going to see a split push meta. It's been all about dragon sacking. It's been all about bot lane and rotating down. And I'm not saying that there's no point in cross-mapping to get gold. It does work like that, but Soul is so powerful. I mean, it does require you to throw a little bit, but take a look at the, the JDG BLG series in game 1 where BLG got Baron, they were up a good amount of gold, but JDG were able to get Soul, and they brought it back with some really, really nice late game team fights. Scaling for both teams is something that I want to kind of shift the conversation over to here. I think Weibo have so much damage. It's ridiculous. They have Aurora, Riot, Kai'Sa, and still great team fighting. I think that as an engaged champion goes, I think Nico scales really well in team fight because she has so many options. It's not like, you know, like a Nautilus where, okay, he scales because you've got guaranteed confirmed engage with the R, but Nico, you can be so sneaky, you can be so creative with it. JDG have to not switch off for a moment. If they do, if Gala dies, like, Honkyu's going protections. There's not enough damage to really get through Weibo before Weibo just executes you.
And Weibo did a really good job of getting El kind of back in, at least. He's still going to be under distress down here, and especially once they go for this tower dive, but they did a really good job of stabilizing the ship, it felt like, for Elk, as he still will be a major force with time coming. Arha with a 3-level down difference between him and Junja tries to run away from the very forward stance that Junja's been taking into the jungle of Weibo time and time again. There is the dragon up, could be a second dragon for them. There is the grub trade on the other side if Weibo want to go for it.
I really love this macro from JDG. They push down Junja to the bot side, clear out Vision, push out Arha, chunk out Elk, and have positions around with the global ult as well. Even though Honkyu's down tempo in mid, he can join at the same time. So this is just great dragon macro. I mean, all summoner spells are available for Weibo. They're not weak at all right now. They're only down, 1.5k gold. Sundered Sky completed for Zeze. Xiaohu is at a decent spot. Honkyu doesn't have a full item yet, but the raw tempo advantage this Ezreal Karma and the bot push provides you means the dragon is just done.
And Elk got his backstop. Just wanted to try to get a quick reset off, but that True Shot Barrage did signal him to stay. As TP going to be used back to the mid lane by Honkyu. Will come over to join the invade as well. Pick up a nice little blue buff gift from Junja. And so far, Junja has been all over the map, consistently pressuring Weibo's decision-making tree.
What a nice jungler. Honkyu says, I'll TP in for the fight. No, I'm kidding. I was just here for the blue buff the whole time. And now I've got infinite mana and some good cooldowns. I am concerned, though, for this JDG comp. It's Chemtech Sol. With the tanks, that's quite nice. They'll be really tanky, sure. The shielding from Karma, it is scary. It's not a bad Sol this game by any means. But unless Honkyu ends up going damage later, unless Junja has a ridiculous game on Xin Zhao, which I'm not saying he can't do. Xin Zhao does do quite a bit of damage. It's all on Gala. Gala has to have a ridiculous pop-off game. And if he's, taken out quickly in fights, I think Weibo just have superior late game damage. I think they have better team fighting just looking at their team comp. JDG are a great team fighting team in general, but the early game has gone over to JDG. Something that, we spoke about earlier is the fact that JDG were down gold in every game against BLG. Some people make the comment or the joke, BLG could have won 5-0 in that series, which is definitely true, but JDG with a little bit of a gold lead here. I want to see them start ramping up the pace. When these two items come in, I think we've got Trinity Force finished. We should have Honkyu finishes his first item now. It is. He's got the boots. When these two items come in, we need to put our foot down on the pedal and start pushing this lead forward further.
And we saw that there was lane swaps initiated by JDG. Also got the grubs going there. We see the play from Taos, who initially attempted onto Elk, but now he's just going to be locked down by the duo here. The plasma stack's doing work, but he is still tanky enough to make it out alive. So it won't be much but turret plates for Weibo on the bot side play, and still 100% neutral objective control from JDG.
Now Weibo tried to get something back, and I think that Elk has a nice little decent chunk gold lead for himself, but you can't really take down the Scion that well because he does have that Kanik Rukun completed, right? So, okay, it wasn't me. I was a little worried because that happens to me sometimes.
The beauty of being a piggyback broadcast, baby.
It's okay. You know what? I'm worried. I hear we might be back. We are back. Baby. Lovely. Thank you, Huya. Anyway, we've got some problems going on here, obviously, but we'll continue to talk about the game just a little bit before. Hopefully we get back in soon. Yeah, I think that with Xiaoshu having this Kanik Rukun, he's able to kind of fight Elk just a little bit, but I don't know about this much.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, we've seen this before. Elk this time wants to really make him pay. He's going to revisit. I can't believe they were successful at going down here and oppressing Xiaosu yet again. It will be a kill going over to Elk, so much needed gold there. Did see the setup on the Rift Herald, though, go the way of JDG. So they literally just took back-to-back topside neutral objectives. The turret should go down to Weibo.
I was half expecting Xiaoshu to just say screw it and ult up to clear the next wave. I think he was trying to get it, but Elk was ready with the block, so Xiaoshu doesn't pull the trigger and ult keeps that so that he can ult back to the lane. I'm assuming he's just going to ult to a lane here, get back faster and get those minions. Maybe he'll just walk. I mean, home guards are very fast, but outside of the dragons, Marcel, it's been a little bit of Weibo finding some picks and then JDG just waiting. We're waiting for our spikes, we're waiting for the next dragon, and that's where we're going to play our game. I feel like this is how they won their games against BLG, and it seems like they really haven't diverted that strategy at all. They're happy to just continue to do that in this series.
I mean, from draft, we talked about the difference between these comps, right? We talked about the fact that if JDG play a respectful game until they get to those 3 item spikes, this comp is going to be extremely hard to break once they're all 5 together. And yes, there's some great scaling options for Weibo, but it's definitely a lot more mechanically intensive, execution-based composition from Weibo this time around. And you know, from their run in the lower bracket, we've seen they've been able to handle comps like that. But so far, JDG has been put pretty far behind in terms of tempo on the map, and that's not typically the winning ways of Weibo. About 1,000 gold lead for JDG ahead of this potential 3rd dragon for them.
Gala has to be taken down, but he has both summoners up, and Vampire has heal, has her echoes finished as well. Honkyu can join with TP, so Weibo, I don't know if they have the grounds to stand here at all. JJ would need to go in for a steal. Maybe Arha can find a really nice ult, but it looks like they've already just given up the dragon. Remember, in the last 9 games, the team that gets soul point just wins the game.
Ninja's even going to play with his food a little bit here. Doesn't finish off the dragon just yet. They're going to use the Rift Herald play into the Weibo team. He's going to get double knockups there. The taunt comes down, and that's going to be a decimating smash for Elk's face. That's a huge pickoff by JDG, and now they might even want some more. He was not able to seal away the blue. The dragon did end up going down, so that's sole point for JDG, and they just seem to be running the Rift.
I think JDG's macro this series, or sorry, this game 1 has just been much better. Arha's a minion, won't catch out JDG at all, but it feels like 3 dragons have gone completely for free. The first one, okay, it's early in the game. JDG have bot push with Ezreal Karma, but the last 2, especially that one, JDG was late, and they still managed to, with their push, get onto this dragon with great positioning. The setup was awesome, and then really nice engage from the 2 tanks, who have enough base damage to just take down Elf.
He had flash.
He did.
Oh no!
I'm gonna forget that part because I still.
Oh no, dude! Why?
I still remember Elk Kaiser from the regular season, and I don't want this performance to taint that, because you do just have to flash that.
That's a tough one. He'll be saving that one for potentially the next fight coming through, but that's going to be painful now with this about 2,000 gold lead. And the thing about this is it's not that much of a gold lead. We've seen bigger comebacks from even JDG themselves. But it's about the map control. It's about the fact that they've had 100% neutral objective control, which is almost unheard of in the LPL. We've had it a couple times this split and a couple times in the playoffs, actually. But it is very few and far between, and JDG have done an excellent job of kind of righting themselves after their loss the last time around.
I mean, I was talking about in the draft that Weibo have great side lanes, right? They have Ryze, they have Aurora. Aurora with this Leandry should be able to do a decent amount to the tanks, at least, you know, get push, but Galio, like Tank Galio and Sion are getting push in the side lane, and Weibo are just grouping up mid to look for some random plays here. Maybe Gala will step up, guys, and we'll be able to ult him, but that doesn't happen. So they're losing gold on side lanes where they should be winning, right? You've got Ryze Aurora, -1. And then JDG are still winning out in mid because they have superior wave push with Ezreal Karma. So Weibo feel a little bit all over the place. They feel a bit dizzy in this game one. I really think that they aren't playing the comp to the comp's strength, and they're losing a lot. All the objectives, yeah, but they have the only gold lead is Elk, and we saw how he played that last fight, or what happened to him. If Elk dies and Xiaohu and Zika aren't in a position, you can kind of flip the script about what I was talking about on JDG's side. If Elk is dead, there's a very, very short-range comp from Weibo up against Ezreal, Karma, Xin Zhao. It's really hard for Weibo to continue going without, wave priority.
And something I will say that maybe Weibo want to try to rely on, I don't think it's the most reliable thing to do so in, but JJ has been a masterful smiter so far these playoffs. He has been incredible. He's going to need to put that on full display here if they want to try to pull this lead back in any way, especially in about a minute and a half when that soul could be coming up for JDG. But Weibo is still struggling to get to those third items here. Obviously, on the other side, JDG has not reached that precipice just yet either. But it's about those second item spikes that are really going to play a heavy role in this next fight, Beto.
Yeah, I think for Xiaohu, Seraphs and Roa, upgraded Roa, it's great, but you're not level 16, which is where you get the third point in ult. You get the ton of, I think it's overload damage, I think that's what it's called. And then obviously you want the actualizer. That's 3 items. For Elk, it's the same. You really want Nash's or Dusk and Dawn, depending on if you're going to go that. If you're going to go full crit caster, which it looks like he might be, then the 2 items is nice, but you'd still love the Fiend Hunter bolts to fight. But, Galio Ezreal, Xin Zhao at 2 items is really, really strong. Trinity Force Mana Moon is a massive spike. Galio is very tanky with a little bit of damage. And I don't know if Junja can die at all right now. 30 seconds on this Soul. Chemtech Soul with a Karma. All these shields and the double tank already. Weibo need to do something, but again, JDG are first. They have better priority and a better setup around this Drake. Weibo are completely choked out.
And for Weibo, you'd hope to get in there before the locking pieces of the armor kind of come together, but they've already come together. All 5 members from Weibo and JDG going to be surrounding over this dragon here. Going to have a move from Zika potentially from mid lane. He's pushing the lane right now, but the dragon has been started by JDG. They need to fight this one or just hope to save until the Elder Dragon, I guess. But it's going to be Junja who pulls out the dragon now. Weibo going to slowly move in. They have no vision. Zika's looking for a flank. Maybe this is the opportunity. Arhat's just dead before his Pop Blossom even goes off. Heroic Entrance comes back and all 5 strong from JDG. Roar triumphantly against the Weibo that has beaten them time and time again here in the winter split. They'll turn back for their bounty in the soul.
Their setup is just so good from JDG. They make it look really easy. The setup is great. The vision is good. They push out all of Weibo, have no chance of a flip. This looks completely different to how JDG Weibo was in the regular season. I mean, they've got Soul. Again, 100% win rate in the last 2 games. My kind of sample size. Baron up now. Weibo are around, but they don't have a jungler.
You playing a little bit aggressive here. Now, Xiaoxu's going to take a little bit of tickling from Weibo. It does seem like JDG pretty hesitant to do the Baron off the back of that one, so they'll leave that one alone for now.
I like it. JDG have gold that they need to spend after doing that Soul and getting some of those kills as well, or just the kill on the JJ and Arha. But I think that for JDG, they're aware that the only way that they start losing this game is by taking a bad fight. They don't feel like they're comfortable around that dragon, so even though they most likely could have, it's probably like an 85 to 90% play. They're worried about that 15 or 10 to 15%. They reset, they get better vision. Vampire's stacked up his wards, refilled his wards. You've got Honkyu in the bot lane pushing out. Very, very strong. He is going more damage now, which is good to see. And has TP available, so I like it. You're not rushing the game. Weibo are losing minions bot side because they're forced to stay grouped. Earlier I was saying that Weibo really need to utilize their side lane pressure, but right now, because of the threat of the Baron and Xiaohu doesn't have TP, he has to be hovering within ult range. If JDG started up and Xiaohu and Honkyu are in the bot lane, or even Xiaoshu, either of the side laners for JDG can TP over, and Xiaohu will be left in the side lane. So JDG playing it fairly slow, but with the soul in their back, they're very strong.
Really careful with that subtle strength they're going to be having now. Also, a little side point is, that matchup we wanted to put on a precipice here, at least on a pedestal, is going Junja's way so far. And I got to say, they did not have much of a say in this setup already, and that can't be happening for the way that Weibo have been winning their games. It is a lot of the time propped up by JDG's earlier parts of the game. Now he's going to have to find a way in. It doesn't seem like Weibo are giving up just yet, at least. It will be about 3.5 minutes for that next Elder Dragon. Really, they're hoping this scaling is going to pay off. Runans has been completed for Elk. He's really going for some of that attack speed and extra AoE damage during these fights. These grouped up 5-on-5s.
I don't think I've ever seen this build from a Kai'Sa before. I mean, if there's anyone in the world I'm going to trust about a Kai'Sa build, it's probably going to be Elk. But yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. It feels a little desperate. We just need more AoE damage when that's what your comp has a lot of anyway. But look, Master Elk Sensei, I will listen to you. I will trust you. And if you lose, results-based analysis says the build was bad. And that's my kind of analysis. I love that.
The theme of the night so far is Elk does a nice little sidestep there. There was an attempted flank by Arha, but he gets found out initially, and now there's not much setup that Weibo can pull up besides the cease and desist combo from JDG. They're still going to try to surround this one. Arha is still playing on the back end of it, but you can just see how hard it is to crack into the armor of JDG.
There's a lot of peels. Zeker is invisible.
Goes for the
Weibo's going.
Worlds, Realm Warp. I mean, Weibo are just feeling desperate at this point. They need to try to get a fight somewhere. Elk gonna try to get his way in here, but Xiaosu just tanked all of the damage that Weibo threw at him. Heroic Entrance gonna come in on top as well, and Weibo are starting to lose some of their pressure here. They're about to lose their mid laner too. He does flash away, gets away from the root, but the flash play from Xiaosu comes through. Honkyu's gonna follow through with the taunt coming, but he gets knocked back in the end by JDG, who does make his way out with the cease and desist. Really nicely done. Zika goes forward, tries to get his own damage in there, doesn't nearly have enough, and guess who's been untouched the entire time? Gala on his Ezreal. He was just chunking away at Weibo the entirety of that fight.
Yeah, has 3 items finished. JDG was winning a 3v4 at a time there. Jun just spends so much of that fight zoning Arha away, so the team fight never really comes. Weibo try on a potential overstep from JDG, but JDG have enough. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. He finds Arha and he pushes him away out of the fight completely, so that Pop Blossom never comes out. And JDG, they just front to back. Their damage is very, very nice. If you can't kill Gala, I guess you... What I said earlier about if you kill Gala, then there's no damage. And that is true. But if you can't kill Gala instantly, you don't have enough damage at the moment to take down Chemtech, Sol, Galio, Xin Zhao, and a Scion. It's just not happening. So, we try to snap onto Gala. It's not fast enough. Arha's not there. And the play is mute. Now, crucially here, I mean, there's all 30 seconds until this Elder. Gala has both summoners. Elk does too, but you've got no flash Arha, no flash Jeje, no flash Xiaohu, no flash Zika. There is some mobility on the carries for Weibo, but they are very vulnerable, and the engage is not strong.
See Weibo very hesitant to move in. The Elder Dragon is the deciding part of this game. It feels like if JDG win this one, they could just push to win. Xiaohu getting caught. The 3-talon strike knocks him up for long enough. The root doesn't come through, but Junja does. For his team, he has been everywhere this entire game number 1 of this best of 5. And that should just mean a 4v5 go in the favor of JDG at the Elder Dragon.
For Weibo, like, what do? Do you give Elder and Baron? Like, you've given everything this series. Oh, sorry, this game
Literally everything.
You haven't done anything in this game. You've got a couple of picks on side lane, one of them on a Scion. You caught Gala out twice early in this game. The Elder is being done. We're TPing back, but again, you can't get past this front line. It's just going to be taken before you even get in.
Clone tries to go through. It's not enough. 4 members
blocking.
strong while Junja is just soloing the Elder Dragon. It feels like Weibo can't do anything, and they know it too. They try to go in for one last
It's
gasp
just
after
over.
Pop Blossom comes in on a multiple, but the Elder Dragon has come through, and the wings have sprouted on JDG's back. They are headed for the sky, and they are headed through Weibo here in game number 1. Absolute domination. Only 4 kills and 1 turret so far for Weibo, and everything for Jindong Game.
JDG have had massive problems with overstepping, overplaying when they don't need to throughout a lot of their games, and this game is nothing like how their mistakes have come to fruition in the past. It is so calculated, it is slow, but it's methodical, it's perfect even. They haven't dropped, like you've been saying, a single objective this game so far. What, 1 tower has been taken for Weibo? They've had nothing to do in this game. They have sat by and waited for some scaling to come on, and they do have scaling, but no matter how much you wait here, Elder, Soul, Baron, Grubs, they have collected Exodia, and you don't outscale that.
And for Weibo, it's the Kai'Sa was the weirdest part about this comp in a lot of ways, but it's not like these aren't champions that they're comfortable on. I mean, a lot of these picks are things that could have been relied on later in the series, even now, but it just has not worked out in this game number 1. And I give so much props to the reservation that we needed JDG to have with this composition, and that they did so, right? Like, that has been a key moniker for JDG, is sometimes getting too aggressive. That's why they find themselves in deficits a lot of the time, even if they come back from those. But in this one, it was methodical, it was ruthless, and they have picked apart Weibo piece by piece. Oh my god, they're just having fun with it now. Arha almost just gets killed from range. Junja's going to get himself another kill. It's going to be his 4th. Elk uses his killer instinct to get away as a little bit of defensive tool. But look, like, all of this damage that Weibo has done is going to be on Xiaoxiu. When we look at the post-game graphic, you look at all of Weibo's damage, just imagine that being all onto Xiaoxiu and him never having died. At least from the earlier parts of the game. And this is just JDG kind of finishing the job here. They've done all their due diligence in this one. An almost 10,000 gold lead to kick this one off, and the Elder Dragon from distance with the True Shot Barrage. Everything going JDG's way, and they are looking like a beast to handle from Weibo. They've got to go back to the drawing board here, J Beto.
Yeah, so many shields being generated. Like, it's impossible